Hey guys, this is Tauna, and today, apologies first of all, I've been sick for a little bit, so I haven't made any videos, so apologies. And yeah, we've got an insane leak today, so it looks like somebody has managed to get a copy of the Thunder Junction pre-release kit. So this is pretty crazy, given the fact that, you know, this isn't meant to be out for what, another month. They haven't started even showing cards off and stuff, and now we've got like a whole, like, for some reason they've got a whole pre-release kit, but they've only showed off 2 packs from it. So yeah, let's go through each of the cards and have a look at them. I'm pretty excited about it. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to be covering all this kind of stuff when it comes out. So the first one in here, we've got the pre-release promo, it looks like, which is Selvala, Eager Trailblazer. So she's got Vigilance. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a red mercenary token. So it looks like there's new merc tokens in here that you can tap, and then target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. And then you get to tap her, and you can choose a color, add 1 mana of any color for each different power among creatures you control. There's also a Villainous Wealth in here, which people are talking about Villainous Wealth getting reprinted for the Gonti precon, and it looks like we're going to get one. And this has got the new newspaper look to it, which is nice. It actually looks really nice there. So then we've got some of the actual cards here. So let's start over here. We've got an Irascible Wolverine. When it enters the battlefield, exile the top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play that card. So we've got the plot. Interesting. So plot is, for this plot at least, you pay 2 and a red, and then you can exile the card from your hand. Cast it as a sorcery on a later turn without paying its mana cost. So it's essentially Foretell, except free later on. That's really interesting. So then we've got Drover Grizzly here. Whenever Drover Grizzly attacks while saddled, creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. You can tap any number of, so saddle is you tap any number of other creatures you control with total power 1 or less. This mount becomes saddled until end of turn. So saddle seems to be like crewing something, except it provides like a buff to everything else, it looks like, and you can still attack without it because it's still a creature. So you can, I guess there's new mounts and stuff too, which is really cool. All right, we've got Rooftop Assassin here. Flash with flying and lifelink, and then when it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. Just a vampire assassin. This is just a common, so let's see. All 3 of those are common so far. We've got this one here. Oops, we can go up. Stop Cold. I think Stop Cold's already a card, isn't it? No, Stop Cold's not a card. All right, Flash, and then enchant artifact or a creature. When it enters the battlefield, tap it, and then enchanted permanent loses all abilities and doesn't untap, and during its creature's its control's untap step. Oh, so it's just a complete, you know, remove that card, except like kind of like a containment unit or something like that. We've got Wanted Griffin, has flying, and then when it enters, when it dies, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token with tap. Target creature you controls get 1/+1/+0 until end of turn. Activate until. Okay, so the mercs seem to all be the same. We've got Rodeo Pyromancers. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, add 2 red. That looks like it could be strong. That looks like it could be really strong, actually. In either like a Spell Slinger deck or like just a red aggro deck. Holy cow. So this is a holy cow. It's got Flash and flying, and then when Holy Cow enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and scry 1, and it's got 2/2. Canyon Crab, pay 1 and a blue, and it gets +2/-2 until end of turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you haven't cast a spell from your hand this turn, draw a card and then discard a card. So this one's an uncommon. I assume this is uncommon too. We've got neutralize the guards. Creatures target opponent controls get -1/-1 until end of turn. Surveil 2. I could see this easily becoming pretty strong. With the surveil alone makes this pretty decent, I think. Creatures target opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. I guess if there's a way to be able to, do more -1/-1s, like with Massacre Girl or something like that, maybe. It doesn't have like put a -1/-1 counter on it, unfortunately, but still, that's not too bad. We've got the Lava Spur boots. I could see this one easily becoming pretty good. Equipped creature gets +1 is +0 and has haste and ward 1, and then equip 1. I think this is better than like leather armor. Leather armor does the ward. Yeah, it's essentially like this, except it's got +1 instead of +1, like +1 power instead of +1 strength, and it costs 1 to equip. It's not as bad. It's not too bad. I don't think that one's too bad for haste and a ward 1. Malcolm the Eyes. So this is a rare. We've got flying and haste. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, investigate. Ooh. This is definitely going to go into my lesbian detective deck with Madame Vastra and Jenny Flint. That's actually really cool. All right, we've got Savage Smash over here. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It fights target creature you don't control. We've got Bristleback Sentry. Plant Wolf Defender. As long as you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. So that's a nice early drop because it's going to cost 2. That's going to go into my Voja deck, definitely. And then we've got one of the new lands. So there's new deserts. So they brought deserts back. I didn't know if they would. Obviously, it makes sense for them to, but yeah. When it enters the battlefield tapped, and then when it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target opponent, and it gains green or white. So that's really nice. The little text down here talks about a Pioneer Journal of Big Ralph too. So then we've got the other pack. So imagine getting a whole pre-release pack and you open 2 packs to show people. I tell you what, guys, if I accidentally get stuff leaked to me, I'm going to open it for everyone. I'll open all of it. And then, they'll probably send the Pinkertons after me. But anyway, we got Sterling Supply here, flying, and then when it enters battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. We've got Reckless Lackey. So it's got First Strike and Haste, and it's a 1-drop. So it's only costing 1 red for it. And then it's got, 1/2. That's not too bad. That's actually pretty decent. And then later on, you can also sack it to draw a card and create a treasure token. That's really nice. We've got Ankle Biter here, green, Death Touch 1/1. Not as good as a little Dart Frog, Poison Dart Frog. Yeah, not as good as Poison Dart Frog. But as a snake, so maybe, you got something else in there going for you. We've got Spring Splasher, a frog beast, and then whenever it attacks target creature defending player controls gets -3 -0 until end of turn. We've got Raven of Fell Omens. When you commit a crime, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. However, it can only trigger once each turn. Dead-Eye Duelist with Reach, and then you can pay 1 and tap it to deal 1 damage to target opponent. That I don't think is great. It's an assassin though, so maybe with all the new assassin stuff, we could find some use for it. So not only did they only take 1 pack, 2 packs here, they also cut off half of this card. So this is Nimble Brigand, I assume. It can't be blocked if you've committed a crime this turn. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. I assume is what that says. At knife point, as long as it's your... so Outlaws. As long as it's your turn, Outlaws you control have first strike. So here, we have a definition for Outlaws. Outlaws are Assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks are as outlaws. So I guess this is kind of like taking all those different, you know, shadier creature types and then putting them all together under one banner to make like I assume, because, you know, we've got the outlaw deck that's that Olivia's running. This is going to be like that. Whenever you commit a crime, create a merc token with we've already read all that. But you can only do this once per turn. So that's nice little, like, you know, generation card generation, token generation, as well as the fact that it's got, you know, all your outlaws will have first strike. All right, we've got a nice mana dork here. Intrepid Stable Master. So it's got reach. You can tap it to add 1 and then tap it to add 2 color of any 1 color. Cast this mana only to cast mount or vehicle spells. Interesting. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, Magebane Lizard deals damage to that player equal to the number of non-creature spells they've cast this turn. That's a very nice card. Imagine that in Ojutark. Like, this is going to make it so that each time they cast something, Ojutark would be dealing 4 damage to them instead. That's actually really, really interesting. Because unless they're just casting creature spells, then potentially you're going to get, like, you know, 2 procs of it per turn. I don't know. I think that looks really cool. We've got Ornery Tumblewag here. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 on target creature. This is a 3 cost. Whenever it attacks while saddled, double the number of +1/+1 creatures on +1/+1 counters on target creature. Oh, this is really nice. And then saddle too. So that's a rare. And then we've got Detention Sphere. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-land permanent not named Detention Sphere and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent. When it leaves the battlefield, return the exiled cards to the battlefield under their owner's control. So that's not too bad. I think this one's definitely a reprint. Yeah, it's a reprint, but in that new fancy art. I mean, it's going to be good for, like, not Commander. I don't think it's got much use in Commander, but still, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. All right, then we've got Conduit Pylons. So when it enters the battlefield, Surveil 1, and then, it enters untapped as well. You can tap it for colorless, and then you can pay 1 to tap it to add a mana of any color. It's also a desert. And then we've got a Golgari, the one that enters tapped and deals 1 damage to target opponent. These are actually good because they're also automatically committing a crime. Yeah, they're automatically committing a crime. So this one's a common, that one's a just a normal land. The rare in the pack was the Ornery Tumblewag, which I think is pretty good. And then we've got the Merc Reminder token here. So, what have we learned? First of all, whoever took this, you've got, 2 other packs? This is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So that's 15 cards, right? They should have 2 other packs that they haven't shown off here. Show us those other packs. We've got, so the good ones in here were the Malcolm the Eyes. And the Malcolm the Eyes I really like. The Lava Spur Boots I think was great. The new lands look interesting, and it'll be very interesting to build like a land deck with like the deserts and stuff like that. I could definitely see deserts coming back in that pre-con. I wasn't sure if they were. Like, it's labeled as deserts, but that doesn't mean that they were going to bring deserts back. It could have just been, you know, flavorful. And the Ornery Tumblewag look good. We learned about Outlaws. So Outlaw rules, the plotting as well. So plotting is upgraded. Foretell. These are just marked as OTJ. So you could potentially use them in pre-release? Right. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. That's really interesting. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Have a great day and goodbye.